Now I'm delighted to be joined by Janet Anderson, who is the chair of the panel of judges. Now, hi Janet.
Hi.
This must be a pretty exciting day for you.
It is. It feels very strange to actually get the chance now to tell people a little bit about the process, which I think is important, and discuss the nature of cartooning, but actually to say who the winner was.
I know, I can't wait. We're almost at that moment. It's very exciting. Indeed, today it's the day where we sort of bring the first European Cartoon Award to a close. This has been your first venture with this group. How has it been to be the chair of the panel of judges and have that very important job of selecting the winners and runners-up?
Well, I think it was really important that in the panel we had a real combination of different people there. We had a real cartoonist on the panel himself, so he was able to give that perspective of what it would have been like himself to try to come up with these ideas and the colours that he saw and the artistry, let's say. I also had a colleague who selects editorial cartoons, so she was able to give her perspective of why not any particular things. And for me, I'm more of a generalist. I support editorial cartooning generally, actually worldwide, and here in this European context, I want to see the best possible mechanism to enable debate to be encouraged, to be provoked by these things. So we had some really very tough discussions where we actually disagreed with each other, but it was a really interesting process to go through to hear those different perspectives.
I can imagine. It's interesting that you mention that, because fostering a debate in Europe is one of the key topics for this first edition of this European Cartoon Award.
And I think that's what cartoons can do.
Yes.
Okay, a 500-word article, an editorial, etc. Yeah, they're really important. You know, I'm a writer myself, so I'm not going to play down the importance of that. But I think that a cartoon can capture an idea, a way of looking at things, and it can make you laugh, it can make you angry, it can make you think about something completely differently. And in Europe, I think we need to have those kinds of debates. I mean, you can hear from my accent, I'm British.
Yeah.
And therefore, what's been happening about the whole debate about what Europe is has partly dominated my political life for the last 20 years and culminated in Brexit.
Yes. You've said the B word.
Absolutely.
Oh,
but it means that political cartoons, editorial cartoons, are an essential part, I think, all over Europe to keep debate going on some of the major issues that we face together as Europeans.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're even more so now, I think, in the times that we're living in as well, with everything that's going on generally around Europe. I wanted to make a little quote about something you've said recently. You mentioned that editorial cartoons are a special type of commentary, that they have a lot of boxes to tick in terms of visual storytelling, connection to current events, and providing a clear message. It's a tough ask. And this is, I think it probably was a tough ask, but the fact that you got so many entrants shows that there is a talent and a hunger for this type of medium out there these days.
Well, what struck me was we had this very broad collection of entries, as you say, I mean, several hundreds. We, as the panel, only had to consider a smaller proportion of those. But even amongst that smaller proportion, we didn't know where they were all from. We didn't have the names of the individuals. But you look at the range of the cartoons and you can see that, I mean, there are themes that reoccur, but they were definitely being drawn from many, many, many different perspectives. And when I saw the names later and I saw the places that they had come from, you realise that you had 30 different countries that they came from across Europe. Quite a few have been published in regional publications, which again is one of the incredible strengths of European journalism, that you have both national and regional newspapers or different online publications. I must say, disappointed to see that out of the range, including the shortlist that we picked, the 16 who have been featured in the film that we've shown, only 2 were by women. So I still see that there's a way to go in terms of the numbers of women who feel confident to be editorial cartoonists. But I'd also like to thank, there was a bigger committee of people around us who did a lot of the preparatory work. So we got to see the best.
I got you, yeah, because they have to whittle it down to a shortlist, of course, and then come up with... And that's quite interesting because obviously we have one winner, but we also have two runners-up, which is rather unusual, no?
Well, I must say, we actually put together the shortlist of 16 in the end, and we found it very difficult to make the choice of not to make the choice of the winner, that was clear, but make the choice of who the runners-up should be, because there were so many really strong cartoons. And the two that we chose, we thought were really, really excellent cartoons. I think we get a chance to see them now. They were by Ruben Oppenheimer and Joep Bertrams, and both of them are strong cartoons. They smash you in some way with a particular idea, a particular way of seeing things. They challenge you about what your perspective is in relation to what the cartoon says itself. They're both very high quality cartoons, very well drawn, and they're both highly relevant to debates that were going on during the time period of these cartoons. So they provide a counterpoint to the debate that you can see going on across Europe on these particular issues.
Now, I'm wondering, do you think it's time? Are you ready
to say who the winner is?
Well, yeah, I suppose now is the moment. We're going to announce the winner of the first ever European Cartoon Award. So, Janet, over to you.
Thank you. So the winner of the European Cartoon Award 2020 is Anne de Rennes. Anne.
Yay!
Anne, are you there? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well done, Anne. Bonjour, Anne. Félicitations from me as well. What exciting news. You've just won the first ever European Cartoon Award. How do you feel?
I feel very happy. Seeing the level of all the cartoons received, it's an honor for me to win this prize. And I'm also very glad because it's an important topic for me that I was drawing in this cartoon. And I really hope it will raise awareness about this specific topic.
Anne, I wanted to tell you why it was that we as the jury liked this cartoon so much. It's your cartoon, it's your interpretation, but for me and for my fellow panelists, we felt that it was a clever cartoon. It was a recognizable cartoon. Everybody recognized this game, but it was clever the way that you played with it. The theme itself was highly universal and highly important, we felt, across all of the countries of Europe. It was beautifully drawn and beautifully put together. So altogether, we felt that it made a big impact in terms of helping people get a different perspective on the debate. It had a little bit of cleverness and funniness about it, which always helps to get people involved. But it was really on the nose. It was right to try to help people to understand what is really going on. So thank you very much for making this cartoon.
Thanks to you for organizing this event, and thanks to all the jury members.
Wonderful. It is very beautiful as well. It was a very stunning choice that you made. And may I ask, are you already thinking about your next projects, and will you potentially enter the European Cartoon Award 2021?
My next, I will keep on, I think, drawing a lot about ecological issue. And now with the coronavirus topics everywhere, it's also a thematic, I guess we are all drawing a lot about, specifically here in Madrid, where the situation is a bit crazy right now.
we learned earlier that there is going to be a 2021 European Cartoon
Yes,
Award.
that's for
So,
sure.
yes, which is very exciting. So, you never know, we might see you on the winner's block again next year, or perhaps as an entrant. You never know.
It's very good news for everybody. I think we all need this kind of support, and thanks a lot for that.
Wonderful. And congratulations to you once again. Well done.